Coach, we'll start with an opening statement from you, and then we'll go into questions for Gavin Williams and Thomas Francisco. Coach, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, just a really well-pitched game by two studs. Rocker was just a tick better. I think they got 3 extra base hits. We didn't get any extra base hits. He was really tough today. I haven't watched every one of his outings, but he was as good today as anything I watched on video. Made it really hard on us. And Gavin was really good too. And, we got to be able to scratch a couple for us to be able to win a game like that. But Rocker, I tip my hat to him and the 2 guys that came out of the bullpen for Vandy.
Folks, if you have a question for Gavin Williams or Thomas Francisco, please utilize the raise hand feature. We'll go into questions for either of the 2 student athletes. Steven, go ahead.
Well, Gavin, obviously we talked a lot about this pitching matchup. And how do you feel like you did out there today, and what was it like to pitch in that atmosphere?
It was pretty fun. I felt like I held my own the whole game. I wasn't trying to do too much. I was just trying to give our team a shot to win.
Ronnie.
The emotions we saw from you today, Gavin, what was that like? Especially early, I know you were throwing 98, 99, and getting a good start the first few innings. How did that kind of help you settle in at all?
I was just trying to fire my team up, really. I know it was going back and forth, really, throwing up zeros. I was just trying to get them to get up, get some hits.
Ronnie, do you have another one?
Yeah, for Thomas, what about the other side of that? We know about Rocker and how good he is. Just how difficult was it today, maybe to string together hits, you think?
Yeah, he did a great job. He attacked us, and we didn't really stick to our game plan at all. Gavin pitched an unbelievable game and gave us every shot to win. We didn't do a good job of stringing the bats together at all today, so we got to do that if we want to win.
Steven, go ahead.
Thomas, you obviously opted to be aggressive 3-0 in the 8th, and well, you got a good pitch, just miss it. Was that just what happened there?
That's your choice.
Yeah, so I got green light, and in that situation, guy just came in, threw 3 straight balls, and just figured thought he'd throw something over top of the plate, and I was just being aggressive, trying to make something happen, and just got it off.
Steven, do you have another one?
Yeah, just Thomas, how do you guys flush this one and reset for tomorrow, obviously with another challenge?
Yeah, we know tomorrow's a new day, and we have to win 2 at this point, so it does us no good to worry about what happened today at this point. We just got to learn from it, come back tomorrow, and get it going offensively, and the pitching staff will keep doing their thing.
Ronnie.
Gavin, it seemed like you really kind of handled the moment, the emotions, everything well today. Just did you feel comfortable? It just looked from us that you looked like really comfortable and kind of relished in this moment.
Yeah, I did feel comfortable. It's just another baseball game. Can't worry about the name on the other jersey. Just got to worry about the present moment, really.
Ronnie, go ahead if you've got another one. Any other questions for the student athletes? All right, let's move over to questions for Coach Godwin. If you have a question, please raise your hand. Ronnie, go ahead.
Coach, did you feel like during that game maybe you needed a home run? It was going to take a home run because it was so difficult during an inning to string together hits. Obviously, it gets in.
No, I thought it would take a big swing, like a 2-out RBI, ball in the gap, double. When you hit however many singles, 3 or 4 singles that we had, it's just tough. I mean, he's really good. Controls the running game. Once we had an opportunity to, make something happen with Norby, and Norby got a bad jump and kept running, and that's just us trying to do too much right there instead of just sticking to our keys. And if we get a bad jump, take it. But once we ran one time, he was slide stepping, so it was really difficult to do anything offensively when we had a guy at first base.
Steven, go ahead.
Coach, his ability to land multiple pitches for strikes, how tough did that make it on the hitters?
I mean, you saw it. We struck out 11 times. I don't know the last time that we have been in double-digit strikeouts. I'll let Malcolm answer that one, but he had his slider going, his breaking ball going, threw a few change-ups, and just really made it. And he was, he was locating it. He was throwing the ball where he wanted to. And plus, he had a pitcher zone, so that was made it very difficult on our hitters.
Steven, do you have another one?
I'm good right now.
Aria, go ahead.
On the base pass, what did you see from Enrique Bradfield? Did he kind of, affect the defense at all? Like that he's so fast?
Did he steal a base today? I'm not sure. I don't think he did.
He had the slide in the 8th inning, and then the wild pitches, things like that, the infield single.
Yeah, the infield single, he's Deion Sanders, so he runs really fast down there. If we'd have done a little bit better job at executing the ball Agnos through to Seth, then he would have been out. And I haven't seen the replay. I have no idea. But, we had infield in. Of course, he puts pressure on you, but thought Gavin did a really good job. He walked to lead off the game and could not steal because Gavin was picking over with a good move and being quick to the plate.
Aria, do you have another one? Patrick Johnson, go ahead.
Coach, obviously Gavin, the way he pitched, but did the double play, did that make a decision easier to send him back out in the 8th?
Gavin didn't want to come out of the game even when he came out of the game. I thought he was as good as he's been all year, especially the length that he went. I don't know exactly how long he went, but he did a really good job.
Austin.
Coach, what are going to be your main adjustments for the game tomorrow?
Well, we're facing a different pitcher, so we'll have to have a different plan because they're totally two different guys.
Ronnie.
Cliff, I mean, this game in many ways seemed to live up to the billing and the hype. It's just a really good game at this point in the postseason. And how proud are you of Gavin for just keeping you in it inning after inning? Pretty gutty performance to kind of keep you right there.
I'll take Gavin Williams over anybody in the country. And I know we got beat today, but I'll take that guy. That guy, we ain't sitting here in Nashville without that guy. So I'll take him every single step of the way.
Let's go. Last one, Patrick Johnson.
Cliff, you said you did not see the replay. What was the explanation you were given?
You don't get any explanations. You can't talk to umpires after replay. You get thrown out. So no explanation.
Thank you.
Coach, Gavin, Thomas, thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow.
In just a few moments, we'll be joined by Vanderbilt head coach Tim Corbin and Vanderbilt junior Javier Vaz. Coach, Javi, Rocker, thanks for joining us. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
We'll go ahead and start with an opening statement from you, Coach. At that time, we'll move over to questions for Javi and Kumar, and then we'll jump back for questions for you. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I'll just state the obvious. I mean, that was a tremendous baseball game, well pitched on both sides. Certainly our guy was outstanding once again, and just enjoyed watching him pitch for the last 2.5 years. It's been to get a front seat to watch this kid compete has been special. I've never taken it for granted. He gives us everything he's got. You come into a situation today facing a very good offensive team that can score in numerous ways, and he did what he needed to do. He got the leadoff hitter. He was efficient with his pitches. He was landing his breaking stuff. He was good with his fastball. And he just commanded his heartbeat in such a great way in this particular game. We played enough defense behind him. It was solid. We caught the ball. We did what we needed to do that way. CJ caught another great game and threw out a runner, which was really important at the time early in the baseball game. And then we just scratched out enough runs. Runs were very expensive today, and we kind of knew that was going to be the deal. But you get to this point in the season when you've got the best 16 teams in the country all coming together, it typically is this way. So we'll take it and we'll move forward.
Thanks, Coach. We'll go ahead and open up questions for Kumar Rocker. If you have a question for Kumar, please utilize the raise your hand feature. Chris Lee, we'll go ahead and start with you.
Yeah, Kumar, you were throwing something that was 73, 74, 75. Looked like a curveball. I don't think you've thrown many of those. Was that a new pitch or one that maybe you haven't used much, or was that just a different look to something you already have?
Just a different look to something I already have.
Kayla Anderson. Oh, sorry, Chris.
What would you call that pitch?
I call it a curveball.
Kayla Anderson.
Hey, Kumar. Just for you, possibly being the last time you're out there on the mound on West End, how did it feel for you today? Your family, obviously in attendance. Your mom got really emotional after you walked off the mound. But just all together, how did it feel for you today? Obviously getting the win, but also because it could be your last time taking the mound there.
Right. I was just happy to be out there. And I think Cooper in the dugout, after I got taken out, he said, "How's it feel your last time pitching there?" And that's when it kind of set in. And glad I didn't take it for granted. And I'm glad we got one more to play to get to Omaha.
Kayla, if you have another one, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to ask about Javi's early run. Being able to plate a Vandy boy on the board early, how important was that, considering you knew this was going to be probably a pitcher's duel?
I think it was one of those things that's kind of like all you need at the moment, is you got to tell yourself as a pitcher going against a guy like that. He did an incredible job today, and I mean, I saw it from a dugout seat. It was amazing.
Adam Sparks.
Yeah, Kumar, you've obviously done this before, pitched well in the postseason. Having gone through big postseason games before, how did that influence how you prepared for this one, how you handled this one?
It's an opportunity for you to leave it all out there at the moment, because it's coming down to the wire, and you got to do what's best for your team at the moment.
Thanks.
Joe Rexrode.
Yeah, Kumar, kind of following up on the discussion of the pitches. Would you say today was a day where you had everything working well for you, and how much was the cutter a factor for you today?
Yeah, I think I had everything working for me, and the cutter was really to get ahead on righties, gets me to the outside corner, and shows them something different.
Robbie?
Hey, Kumar, was it pretty much your intention to go the distance today? And I guess when did fatigue set in, if at all?
I really wasn't searching for an outcome, but it is what it is, and I got there, so yeah.
Any more questions for Kumar? Great. We'll go ahead and open up questions for Javier Vaz. If you have a question for Javi, please utilize the raise your hand feature. Aria?
How did you guys, as an offense, approach a pitcher like Gavin Williams?
Just being on time for the fastball, really. Attack the fastball, attack the pitcher. And hats off to him, credits to him. Like, he pitched a really good game. And we just did all we could to get those runs across.
And then how big was it for you guys to get an early run on the board with Kumar pitching?
It's big. It's big. We want the momentum always in our dugout, and getting that run really jump-started us for a little bit. And having him on the mound, like, we don't have to do much. He helps us a lot. And credits to him. He pitched a great game. And we only need 2.
Chris Lee.
You see premium fastballs in practice all the time. What was it about his that was different and just so tough to handle?
This one was 97, 99.
Any more questions for Javier Vaz? Great, thanks, Javi. Coach, we'll go ahead and open up questions for you. If you have a question for Vanderbilt head coach Tim Corbin, please utilize the raise your hand feature. Robbie, we'll start with you.
Hey, Tim, do you think, I mean, can you speak to how this was maybe like a vintage Kumar performance today? And where do you think off the top of your head, maybe this is among best performances from his career and maybe even other players who you've coached?
Well, I mean, I don't rate performances. I just think that he gives us what we need at the time that we need it. And this is certainly a situation at the end of the year where you know that games are important and they're closely contested, and there's very little difference between teams. So you need guys that are willing to get out there and leave it on the field. And he's done that continually. There hasn't been a day that he's been here at Vanderbilt where he hasn't done that, but he feels these situations. As I've said before, he loves the arena of competition, and that's what separates him in so many different ways.
Adam Sparks.
Yeah, Tim, in terms of that, just how he handles pressure in the postseason, is that something you think Kumar has learned with experience, or is that something just innate within him?
I don't know. You'd have to ask him, but I think certainly things are learned along the way. I mean, that's why he came to school, to be in these environments right here. These environments are not easy. And you get into SEC play on Friday night, you've got a bullseye on you, and you're well scouted, and you have to be able to pitch through that. But he's never blinked, and I think the competitive fibers are in him. I mean, you just those are innate, but at the same time, competitive fibers and learning how to compete within these situations is a little bit different. It's one thing to pitch in a minor league game in front of 10 people who are not paying attention to the game. It's another thing to go on the road or pitch in these environments right here when you've got 5,000, 6,000 people and you can feel the temperature of the game.
Thanks.
Aria.
What did you see out of the offense today against another really good pitcher in Gavin Williams?
Well, I mean, that's Gavin Williams. I mean, Gavin, you got to get like Javi said, you got to give that kid credit. He pitched so well. He attacked with his fastball early, and then he started landing 2 different breaking balls. When you throw 97 to 99 and you land a curveball and a slider, you're pretty tough to hit. And he did that. And he throws a lot of strikes. And he didn't blink either. You know, you had 2 big league pitchers out there. I think people who watch that game today will step back 4 or 5 years from now and say, remember that game at Hawkins Field against East Carolina, and that 2 quality guys.
Chris Lee.
Yeah, can you talk about Enrique's manufacturing a run for you late in the game? And that play at third, was that his call? Was it just to go on contact play? What was the conversation on that?
Simple. I mean, it's the fastest guy we've got. I just told him to get the best lead he could, keep rhythm in his feet, get walking to the plate. When the ball's struck, go. It's contact play. And you can't wait around. I mean, it's one of those things that you knew that the runs, as I said, were expensive. And any way we could score, we could score. And both of our runs today came on runners at third base and the ability of two hitters, Javi being one, Dominic being another, just to touch the ball. Javi did it early in the count. Dominic did it with 2 strikes, but that's really what you got to do. That's offense it's difficult, and we did what we needed to do to score those runs, and we worked off of Enrique's feet and slide. That was a hell of a slide.
Joe Rexrode.
Yeah, Tim, you mentioned having that front row seat to Rocca the last 2.5 seasons. I'm just wondering, are you able to appreciate things like that in the midst of a game? And then also, is that something you want your team to have in perspective when you go into games like this? Is that part of the formula of handling moments like this?
I mean, 100%. I don't take any day for granted, and I certainly don't take a day where he's pitching for granted at all. I love being able to be there and sit feet away from him and watch him compete. I mean, it's fun. I mean, I talk about it in front of him. I talk about it behind his back. I mean, it's just what it is. You love passion. I mean, when you see passionate kids that care about what they're doing and they leave everything on the field and they are such backers of their team and they protect their team in every way, I'm all in. I'm all in. That's all you ever want at the college level. You can feel it. It's so raw and it's so pure that, you just get so emotionally entrenched in it. And he does that for you because he's animated. He loves it. He's got a smile on his face at times. Sometimes he growls. Sometimes he makes noises. But you know what? It's like that tennis player playing a 5-set match in Wimbledon. You're just leaving everything on the court, and that's what he does.
Kayla Anderson.
Yeah, Coach, going back to just this type of game, it's being a pitcher's duel, kind of scratching and clawing for every run. Can you learn something from this? Is it a valuable thing for your guys to play this type of game in the postseason right now?
And well, yes. I mean, of course. I mean, you play these games, you really have to have a high level of concentration because those defensive plays, whether it's the last ball that Gonzo hit, whether it's the fly ball that Nolan caught, whether it's the fly balls that Javi caught, whether it's the ground balls that were hit to Parker. I mean, there's a high level of concentration by the defenders. You can't waver at all. And focus and intent takes a lot of energy, and it makes you really, really tired. And these guys will rest well this afternoon and gather as much energy as they can for tomorrow. But yes, playing those games. I mean, last week helped today and so on and so on. You play these close ball games, then it does make you concentrate at a level that is different than a lot of baseball that you play during the year.
Robbie?
Tim, bringing in Luke Murphy for the 9th, was that predetermined? Was that because the 8th or the bottom of the 8th went long or something else?
No, predetermined.
I think we've got time for one more question. Arya, go ahead.
Oh, I think I just had my didn't.
Great. No worries. Coach, Javi, Kumar, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good day.